going on, people? I am Swaver, joined by Journey to be Great, Coco Love, and Illuminating Lenses, and this is the Opinionated Facts Media Group podcast. And on this podcast, our mission is to build better relationships within our community through using the power of conversation. Recently, comedian DC Young Fly, very well known, household favorite to many, got news that his fiance had recently passed, and I'm gonna let Coco Love give you a few more details.
Yeah. Okay. So, this past week it's been all up and down my timeline, but some really, really sad news for DC Young Fly and his family. So his longtime partner, I believe she was his fiance as well, and the mother of his 3 children, passed away. I believe it was on May 31st, and they are suspecting that it's due to a surgery she just had. I believe like maybe a day or two prior, she had posted on her Instagram that she was going in for a mommy makeover. So again, mother, 3 children. Her youngest, I believe, was like not even a year old. I believe a mommy makeover is like a breast lift and a tummy tuck. So she went in for that. Some of her like supporters and followers say that she was actually communicating with them a day or so after the surgery. So she definitely, went through the surgery successfully, but something happened. We don't really know. It hasn't been confirmed, but reports say that she was found unresponsive. And then when she was rushed to the hospital and they tried to resuscitate her, and unfortunately she was pronounced dead, and she was only 32 years old. So it is really, really sad because, this is a young mother. This is his fiance. So he obviously had plans to spend the rest of his life with her. And I know he's probably having a hard time. So just a really sad moment. And you see a lot of celebrities and everybody that, because she was, I believe she started out on Wild 'N Out. And I think that's how they met. And then she went on to do her own thing. I believe she had like a cosmetics line that she was working on. And, just supporting him as well, and then raising her children. So it's really sad to see. So, people are talking about plastic surgery, which we've discussed on here as well, just kind of like the dangers and everything. And definitely not trying to bash anybody for their decisions or anything like that. It's just sad. So what are y'all's thoughts?
Well, I'm not going to sit here and lie. Like, I'm not really like a big comedy watcher or whatever. I do like to watch certain people, but one thing I can say about DC, he's been grinding for a long time. Like anybody that's just been like watching him as he's been kind of like developed into who he's become. And I could just imagine just getting so far to where he is now, being really successful and stuff like that. And then you have somebody, you have your kids with them. And like you said, you already got down on that knee and just, pledge your love to a person, how you want to be with them forever. And then you just lose them, especially all of a sudden, because who really thinks about that? I mean, especially when it comes to surgery now, because it's so common. Who would know, man? Like, you just wouldn't think that would happen. You know what I'm saying?
I was just gonna add to it. It's very unfortunate. And one thing I've noticed that we used to hear a lot about women going overseas and having these procedures and it being fatal. And you kind of like, well, it's overseas and the guidelines aren't as strict, and you can, it's still unfortunate, but you thinking like, okay, well, due to, lack of cleanliness, that could happen. But now you hear more and more about people passing away in the States from this type of surgery. Yeah. And so it's taking like a lot of moms and wives are leaving here because of trying to get to this new beauty standard. And again, I'm not knocking it. You do what you do. It's just, you got to take in consideration the risks that are involved. And it does remind me, it was a story. This happened last year around April 20, I think it was in April, but a lady by the name of Tanisha Walker, she was a grandmother. She had 11 grandkids. And she passed away from surgery. She had the BBL and I think a breast reduction. And they were saying that when she left the surgery center, she was picked up by a recovery center and she was feeling lightheaded. But they said 3 days later, she passed away. It was due to complications from the surgery because the doctor who performed the surgery, he injected the fat in the gluteal muscle. But this year he was only fined $10,000, y'all.
Wow.
So that's how much her life is worth. Wow.
That's right. For a plastic surgeon, that's nothing. And she lost her life. The grandkids don't have their grandmother. Her children don't have her around anymore. And it was also said that she had other complications, but they still accepted her. I think they said she was maybe pre-diabetic, high blood pressure. But a lot of people looking at it like, you're just your money.
Yeah.
And take you through the process and on to the next one. So
we did talk about this in a previous episode, but it kind of made me think it's like a pattern here. It seems like people are experiencing experiencing these complications after the fact. It doesn't really seem like they're getting it right off the table. And I'm not really sure why that is. I guess it takes time for your body to get used to what's going on, if it ever really does. But you can see that with Kanye's mom. You can see that with the young lady that Journey just talked about. And with you, Coco, just this story itself, you can see that people don't seem to be having, or if they are having complications, it's light to mild in the beginning, but then eventually it takes their life.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, it's just sad altogether, and I mean, it's just another example of love yourself, and I'll just leave it like that.
Yeah, I agree with you too. And I can see that it's pressure probably for them too, because she's probably around a lot of women, and just even if you're not a celebrity, maybe you just a person that's thinking about having these surgeries. And again, we're not telling you not to do it. We're just saying that you really just need to look at, is there another alternative to potentially having a surgery? Could you just go and walk it off, run it off? But we ain't got to tell you. You already know. But you got to make the best decision for yourself.
I've seen some people say as well, in response to this, that this has made them, women, obviously more than men, but I've seen women say that this has made them kind of reevaluate the work that they wanted to have done. Because a lot of women are wanting to do this, they want their body back after they have their children or whatever. So it's definitely nothing wrong with that and wanting to look good. But I think there are some pressures sometimes. And she was a beautiful woman. And from what I could see in pictures, obviously there are different things you can do. But from what I could see, like, her shape was nice. Like, I don't know though. But I mean, it was all about really how she felt for herself. So I mean, you obviously can't tell people to not have surgery or anything like that. And I don't know how much research she did on this person. Obviously, she probably thought she was doing at least a better job of doing it over here, like Journey said, as opposed to going overseas. So you really just
she probably was recommended because she's in the industry around other women who's getting it done. So somebody probably recommended the surgery to her.
Yeah. So I mean, you really just never know, and that's with any surgery. I mean, too, any surgery has complications and can go left, and even if you're just put under for like tests, anesthesia, so you really can have a reaction anytime. So it's just think, I guess, a little bit more about what you plan to do, what I'm saying? Like Swaver was saying, maybe see if there's other alternatives to what you're trying to have done. That's what I would say, basically.
Well, of course, we always want to hear the listeners' thoughts in the comments below. We really do appreciate you guys. Condolences to DC Young Fly, his family, also the family of the fiance that was lost, the mother, and like you said, the daughter, and it's just really a tragic situation. But again, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'm joined by Journey to be Great, Coco Love, Illuminated Lenses. This is the Opinionated Facts Media Group podcast. And until next time, peace.